Well, the kidnapping of children for ransom seems to be on the rise, with more and more reports emerging. So why is this happening, and how often do parents or guardians talk to their children about general safety when they're out of the house? Let's find out from Sandy Mahapi from Childline Gauteng, here to give us some insight and some tips. So there's always a discussion, don't talk to strangers, but I don't think that's enough, is it?
It's very complicated not to speak to strangers, because the question is, who is a stranger? A child can see a friend's parent at a school function, then the next day they see them in a community. Do you refer that person as a stranger? Would that child look at that person as a stranger? So we have to now move away and say, let's rather look at safety tips. I think that's the most important thing, because you ask a 14-year-old to be speaking to a stranger, that raises a question. So it's important that our parents now start speaking to our children more often. We know that we're living in a province that's very busy. Parents don't have time to speak to kids. But it's important that we start speaking to our children.
Yeah. So these safety measures for kids, because, teachers are even accused of kidnapping pupils from schools. What then do you recommend parents do? And do you suggest that these kids have cell phones to perhaps reach out in an emergency situation?
Yeah. So, safety is, and this is what we always say to parents, is that don't wait until the child is of school going out to start speaking about safety. It's not the teacher's duty to speak about safety. It's you as a caregiver's responsibility to start speaking to your child very early. So examples like make sure that the child knows full name, full number, contact detail, address of where you're at in the case of an emergency. Sometimes, especially with children with special needs, or younger children, to just ensure that there's a text somewhere with the details, so that when the child is in an emergency, that they're able to reach you. It's important to now teach your children to be smart, to be able to identify who are the right adults, because a bad person doesn't come in a smile. A bad person comes and is very friendly with you, and we know in many cases it's not the strangers that do these things, but it's people that they know very well in the community. So it's important that we really jack up, we speak to children, make time to know what's going on in your child's life during the course of the day. Ask them who they spoke to, let them know the emergency numbers. We've got cell phones. Children have cell phones. Teach them practically on a cell phone how to reach you in case of emergency.
Yeah. So a child gets kidnapped, like we saw yesterday, now back with his family, but the trauma they experience obviously is something that parents need to deal with now as well.
Yeah. So it's important that aftercare should be done with the entire family, that they should reach out to social workers in the area, or they can also call Childline. We have a toll-free number which will appear on the screen, the 08000 555. We have trained counselors on the line who are working 24/7, who are there right throughout the year. We are there as a child protection organization. We are known as a child protection organization, but we also do telephonic counseling, so they could reach out to us. But it's important that they have an aftermath discussion about this. It should be an eye-opener for the school as well, on how to keep safe, how to communicate to parents. Many times children are left for extramural activities. It's important that you communicate with your child, and maybe the school should review the cell phone policy of a child not having a cell phone at school. There should be a time when a child is able to communicate with their parents to say that, no, I am at school, I am safe.
So just give me that number again for people to...
So our toll-free number is 08000 555, and we are available on the major networks. It is a toll-free number, and parents can call us anytime.
All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate your time and your insight. Sandy Mahapi from Childline Gauteng.